progress is made in the present. It's not made in the future. It's not made in the past. Even if you're thinking about it in the past, it was the present at that moment. All progress that you will make will be in the present moment. Something to keep in mind when you are chasing after things for some reason or whatever you're trying to pursue. Everything is happening right now. Hey, welcome to another episode of As a Man Readeth. This is Trey D.
And I'm Goolsby.
Hey, listen, we are finishing up. What's today's book? Oh, that's right. The Science of Getting Rich. Wallace D. Waddles. So far, man, really great book. Like I said in the first couple episodes, it was like I was in the tension.
Right.
And as I kept reading, I was like, oh, okay, I see where he's going with this. I see where he's going.
Yeah. He's writing in a certain way.
Yeah, for sure.
I realized, audience, that chapter 17 just summarized the whole book. So if you don't like to read, just read the last chapter, and it'll give you a summary of everything. Now, I like to go into the weeds with the things because that's where you.
Let's do it.
You know,
for sure.
There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, which in its original states permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe.
Yeah,
that's one. 2, a thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. 3, a person can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the things he thinks about to be created. 4, in order to do this, a person must pass from the competitive to the creative mind.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he cannot be in harmony with formless intelligence, which is always creative and never competitive in spirit. I'll give you one more. A person may come into full harmony with the formless substance by entertaining a lively and sincere gratitude for the blessings it bestows upon him. Gratitude unifies the mind of man with the intelligence of substance so that man's thoughts are received by the formless. And last sentence for that, a person can remain upon the creative plane only by uniting himself with the formless intelligence through a deep and continuous feeling of gratitude. And that, as you read through the book, he gives you a list of these. I don't know if they're principles.
I think, it's definitely it's some good tenets, I would say. Definitely, and practices. He definitely talks about. Yeah.
But you said something totally different.
Oh, what you thought I was saying?
Titties. I said, what?
Tenets.
That's what.
All right. Tenets. All right. Let's get into the book a little bit more. One of the things that I loved about this part, I think, when we talk about this alignment with the formless, we've had conversations about, I always talk about being, superhuman and, that we just not fully human. I actually think this is another allusion to what I said before, that we just got to get ourselves in better alignment so that we can reach the full potential. And I just don't believe we've had an opportunity or learned the techniques to get into full alignment so that we can reach and fulfill our fullest potential.
And in this book, what he does is he gives his instructions, his mathematical equation to how to be rich. Mm-hmm. And he says there's nothing nobler than becoming rich.
He does. And you're like, wait. We're like, wait, what?
Right.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's like, yeah. And he says, in order to get what, how did he say it? He said something about, in order to get what you want, you need to give not what other people want, but it's an exchange. I'm not holding you down so I can come up. I have to build you up so that in turn I get built up.
Yeah. And he's also said, he talks about those, and then he also has this little caveat in there. He's like, well, not saying that people don't do that, but for those that are reading this book, that ain't the way to do it. And I think that was really important too. Because you can go into like, well, what about all these? We could start naming people that did it the wrong way, in the way that you're stating, Mr. Wallace D. Waddles. But he does say, you know what? People, not saying that it doesn't happen, But the best way to do it is to make sure that you're providing the value in the exchange,
right,
and making sure that you're providing the value in exchange in a non-competitive way.
Right. And that's something that we don't really talk about. To me, competitive has been like a positive connotation, just in general, because we watch sports and the greatest competitors are like Michael Jordan, like they'll say Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, these GOATs, but at the same time, it's like, well, what is competitive though? Because in Monopoly, my whole goal is to break you. You out the game. I need to take all your money.
I'm taking it all.
Bye.
Yeah.
You dead. You know, how you gonna survive? So from a young age, you've learned to compete in this, like a dog eat dog type.
Yeah, be cutthroat. Be cutthroat. I'm buying all of this, all the blues, all the yellows, all the orange, whatever colors. All the railroads are mine. I'm gonna tell you right now. And anything I can get around that can slow you down just a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna need $500. You know. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna need all of that right now. But that is that again. It's like this is very countercultural. It's very it is not necessarily what we see as a normal practice within our spaces, within our spaces and state. But I think the principles are pretty sound, especially and I was like, I know you saw it. You know, you all probably read and notice some of the religious undertones as well, where it aligns very well with a lot of ancient texts. So I think you may find it to be, that may be a cool coincidence for you as well, if you like that. And I actually personally like when books allude to religious texts without necessarily specifically having to quote the scripture, the text itself. I love that. Because that's how, that's really more. I think that sometimes helps us embody it.
Right.
When we get to put it in our own words, it's kind of like teaching it out. That's like, it's a part of you when you can teach it.
Guard your speech. Never speak of yourself, your affairs, or of anything else in a discouraged or discouraging way.
Yeah.
Never admit the possibility of failure or speak in a way that infers failure as a possibility. Never speak of the times as being hard. I don't know why the Bill Cosby almost came out. Or of business conditions as being doubtful. Times may be hard and business doubtful for those who are on the competitive plane, but they can never be so for you. You can create what you want, and you are above fear. Did you hear? He's playing a different game. It's like, I'm not playing that game that you playing over there.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because the competition of it. You got that. I'm in the creative plane of mine.
Right.
When COVID hit, and a lot of people weren't working, and a lot of actors weren't acting. Guess who blew up?
That guy right there.
Because I said, I'll do it. I saw
the old man over there.
Right. The wise old man.
The wise old man.
Yes. Using ancient wisdoms. Because during the time of calamity, a lot of people went into that mindset. I couldn't see nothing but the good of it, though. I mean, if I'm being really honest, I'm like, oh, so I have an opportunity to work. Man, you might have catch it. I ain't even worried about that part. Let me just.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because my belief. But let me tell you where my belief had kind of stemmed from, which is Wim Hof. Right? Wim Hof had a whole thing where he, for folks who don't know, he's known as the Iceman. This is the gentleman who has climbed Mount Everest in shorts, no shoes, not shoes, no shirt, just shorts. Now, went to the top, went to the bottom. I said, how do you do that? Oh, well, he has this breathing technique, and he takes cold showers and baths and all this. So what he was showing us is that the body is capable of doing all these things. And I was like, if he can do that, why am I worried about this flu? And that, for me, helped me to, what I'm saying is, in my mind, I wasn't thinking the creative. I wasn't saying I'm in the creative plane.
Yeah.
But it made me in the creative plane by saying, oh, well, if that's possible, and everybody is worried about this stuff over here, it don't make sense to me. If my body is adaptable, I'm good. And I wasn't surrounded by that either. but people constantly talking about it.
I think that's important. That is important. That is very, very important because, and I don't think I was as we go through start looking at my circle, our circle during that time as well. We're like, okay, we're just going to give it time, but we're going to, as you know, like I was outside every weekend.
Right. Right.
we were hiking. We were hiking every mountain we could. We were on every path. We were getting air, sun, and some sort of socialization during the time. And I think that's what allowed me to really thrive during the COVID time as well. Just being able to continue to build relationships, continue to find ways to have fun, even if it was socially distant. And we created that. We created the internet social distance socials. You remember that?
Yeah,
so, but I think that was key, man. And I think not you got to know how to filter those things filter those things out of your gates. Because everyone, there's so much doubt, there's so much negative conversation, there's so much myopic or like just one-sided conversation now that we don't see wholly, we don't see fully. We're not mindful of what are the habits that people are taking on, which they like attach themselves to us. So, and it was good. It was good. Oh, speaking of habits, though,
okay, go ahead.
There's a part in the book where he says, you don't have to repeat that prayer, bro. You see that part? That's in like near chapter 10, I think it is. I got to go back and find it. But he's like, you don't have to repeat the prayer.
Right.
He said you don't have to keep saying the same prayer over and over. He heard you.
Right.
He said, well, what you need to do when we talk about praying without when he alludes back, he says, praying without ceasing is having your mind on what you want and what you desire and what you're focused on the entire time. It is not repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It is making sure that your focus is where it needs to be so that your energy can flow in the same direction. I thought that was good.
Because we're synchronizing on that, because the other thing says to yes and that. Keep your faith, hold to your purpose, have gratitude, and do that every day. And so, but these are the things that happen when you are in alignment.
Yeah.
Why am I worrying, doubting, or fearing anything in today's time? Man, we got a house over our head. I don't have to do certain things that my ancestors had to do. I mean, humans, just in general.
Yeah.
We know what the weather's going to be. Just being grateful for where we are and realizing that when we don't get the thing that we thought we wanted, knowing that thing is leading us to the thing that we want. Another thing he brings up, he said, doubt or unbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose are to start one towards you.
Absolutely.
And so you have an opportunity at this time to, here we go. Sorry. You have an opportunity at this time to make a choice in your words and in your thoughts to get what you want. But why, not even the why, it's just things we do by habit that we can shift to have a better result.
He also says, spend most of your leisure time in contemplating your vision and in cultivating gratitude and reading this book over and over and over. It's like, hey, go back and read it. It contains all you need to know. You will find essentials summed up in the following chapter, like at the end. That's chapter 17, by the way, that he talks about. But it's like, hey, focus. Right. He says, do not read pessimistic or conflicting literature or get into arguments upon the matter. Don't even worry about it. Don't just, hey, that's not even necessary. I think that's really important. But keeping what you've said, keep your faith, hold your purpose, and be grateful. Those are keys, man. I think that should be on a shirt. I feel like that should be on a shirt somewhere.
Right.
Easily.
He says, do everything that you do in the firm conviction that you are an advancing personality and that you are giving advancement to everybody.
Yeah.
The impression, that's chapter 14, the impression of increase, which Proctor said, definitely read that daily. I think I said this in the last one. chapters
Yeah.
14, 4, and 7 in that order. Ooh, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was on set this weekend, or this week, and I always learn everybody's name. Like that's just a goal of mine. Just
Necessary. Absolutely.
Because it means something to me.
Yeah.
Whether, because I know I can come across, very chatty. So the idea though is that I mean to get to know you, or let me say it different. What I'm attempting to do is give that person that I'm talking to my undivided attention, because it does go left to right, because I'm on set, DP saying, hey, make sure you're in this spot. Cool. The director is saying, hey, we're going to start at this point. The lighting guy is saying, hey, can you move over a little bit? Well, Robin was telling me to move here. Ray was the DP. Willie was the director. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is I'm giving gratitude to them. And I think that they receive that, because like, this dude, I don't even know your name. And you just come in, you saying everybody's name. And I don't have to do none of it. I'm here. I'm the talent. Shoot me, and I lead.
Hey man, that actually, like, that's such a important act or skill even to take on. Really to learn people's name. A lot of folks they get introduced, they have these moments, snapping their fingers. 2 seconds after they say the name, it just that thing gone.
It's gone.
But one of the things that we know, and this is just good science here, people like hearing their name.
Yeah, I know, I do.
They just, in conversation, it's like, Goolsby, what's going on? Like, and sometimes, it's cool to have some nicknames, but that's after a certain amount of time. But people like hearing their names, especially if they love their name. You use that in conversation. People stay engaged with you a lot more. They make you more memorable to them as you are doing the same in your own mind. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And if you go to 6, go ahead. Say it again.
No, I was saying, and just make that a practice, whatever your practice is.
Oh, absolutely.
What were you saying now, chapter?
I was going to say, did we go to 15, the advancing man? Because you did 14.
Yeah, I was about to get into the advancing personality.
Oh, let's get it.
Yeah, I was going to go from the increase to the advancing. So he says, to secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. But what he was saying is that as things evolve, things expand. And as you expand, things will change. And that's okay. That's okay. When you have a job, I bring it back to my job. I like bringing up my last job because I learned so much from the folks there. And I actually love the folks there. I really did. But it got stressful because pressure was being put on me that I felt was unnecessary. But I was trying to coast too. It was like I could still act and I could still do my job here.
Right.
And even as we talk about this, I've even changed how I talk about the story, Trey. I used to hate the place. No, it was like, you got to go act, so you got to go. You got to get out of here.
Yep.
Hey, and I thank him. For that. And I had to grow my wings and get myself out. And so he was saying that a good employee benefits the employer. So if you have something else you want to do, I don't want you to leave because you good right here.
Yeah. I mean, what I think was I don't know if this was in a book, but it was like so many times that if you have an employee that has the same aspirations as the supervisor, depending on the supervisor's not going to give you everything.
Right.
Because they want the same thing you want, young man, young woman, right?
Yes.
And so if you're trying to be the vice president, they were like, no, hold on. And then back of their mind, like, me too. So why would I pour out everything for you? And that is just something to keep in mind sometimes, knowing where your director wants to be, or whomever your supervisor is, knowing where you want to be, sometimes has to misalign so that you all can actually pour into each other. That's really interesting. Pay attention to something to think about.
And if you're not in the competitive mind frame, which I in then, and I think I knew my supervisor was, because it was clear that I was intimidating in the fact that it was given to me that I was trying to take the position.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be nobody's supervisor. Not there. And I didn't want to work. That's extra work and there's not enough pay. And that's not what I'm trying to grow in either. You can have it.
That's what it was right there. It's a lot of work for no pay.
For no pay.
Yeah.
No pay. And well, not the pay that I would.
Right.
Time for me. Because I want to be rich.
He says the man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability, satisfied with that is valuable to his employer.
Yes.
And it is not to the employer's interest to promote him. He's worth more where he is. He says to secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place and who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can be or become what he wants to be, and who is determined to be what he wants to be.
Who has a clear concept of, can I say it too? I want to say that too.
Hit it again.
Who has a clear concept. So the person who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place, who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can become what he wants to be, and who is determined to be what he wants to be. And that's what I was feeling, brother.
Yeah, man.
I knew. I still know. I was gonna say this. Well, it don't even. That's irrelevant.
So no. We gotta ask the audience. Who do you want to be? Who do you really want to be? How do you want to show up in the world, right? Are you determined to be who you want to be? Or are you kind of like just, hoping that you'll be who you want to be? There's certain things that you can be doing right now, that the person that you want to be, you can be doing right now. Start there. Now back to our scheduled program.
See, that's how I know we synchronize, because that's what he was saying. You have to act now.
Right now.
You can't act yesterday. You can't act in the future. You act right now.
Right.
You act in that certain way now.
So we are starting off. So this is the beginning of a month, but I'm not going to tell you what month it is. But you remember, did I tell you what my theme for my phrase or theme for the year was? Did we talk about this?
I remember.
See, he be forgetting, y'all. This is supposed to be my best friend, and he just be forgetting everything. Listen,
I know your name, Fredo.
Listen, okay, all right. Listen, but I started writing this. I was like, progress only happens in the present.
That's good.
And I think I want everyone to really understand what I'm saying here. Think about it. All progress is made in the present. It's not made in the future. It's not made in the past. Even if you're thinking about it in the past, it was the present at that moment. All progress that you will make will be in the present moment. Something to keep in mind when you are chasing after things for some reason or whatever you're trying to pursue. Everything is happening right now. It's not happening in the future. Make your progress in the present. He said what?
No. I thought I knew it by heart, and then my brain left it. But he said thoughts. He said thoughts bring you what you want, and action attains what you want. So you can't just think about it. You have to also act on it.
It's faith and works. It's faith and works all day.
Yep.
Yeah. Faith and works. Okay. You walk as if it's already happening.
Bro.
You do as if you already have it. Like it's all right there.
And that's why I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna give people say I'm gonna give you your flowers, but it's not really your flowers. What it really is
I like plants. Flowers be dying, but okay, but I'll take it though. I'm listening.
I hear what you're saying. Well, I was about to say, what we do really well, and I very much appreciate it is if we do negative self-talk. Like if it's like, I don't know if I can. No. What'd you say? Whenever I hear you say try, I'm like, yeah, you doing it.
Oh yeah, you will catch me. You will, yeah.
Right, but you'll catch me. Hey, I appreciate you saying, hey man, I'm swiping through your IG.
Hey man.
Hey bro, I see you got the acting game on there. You got the.
I'm trying to say, yeah man.
You got your groovy brother. You still the commercial king. And I'm like, and where can I find these? And I'm like, bro, good look. I appreciate that. Not the competitive mind.
Yeah.
Creative mind.
Yeah. All day.
Yeah.
All day. Like, hey man, get on it. That's what that would be, you know. Or something like we'll hear each other talking, we're like, why are you saying it like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what's so we'll tell y'all this quick story, man. We'll tell you this, you know one problem I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
The one about the camera. Remember the camera conversation?
Oh yeah.
It was so crazy. We had so when we first started our podcast, I had a whole bunch of extra cameras at the house, and I was like, hey man, you want to just use this one? And he was like, and he like paused. It was like a 30-second pause. I was like, what is the problem? Man, you want to use the camera or not? He was like, well, you know what, you know. And he was, and when it comes back to it, I remember you were like, you know, are there conditions? I said, dude.
Conditions. Yeah.
And then I said, bro, we've known each other too long. We are at the house right now. What is the problem? Do you want the camera or not? Well, can it be useful? And I think I said this, can it be useful for you or not? I didn't care. I didn't ask for no money. We didn't ask because I didn't need no money. I don't need no money. I don't need nothing. I don't need no promises. Nothing like that. Do you want to use it? Can it be useful to you? And that's all that mattered. If it was useful for you, yeah, here you go. Let's get it done. We invest in each other. So
I appreciate it.
That was a hilarious conversation. I play that back a little bit too much sometimes. Like, hey man, get it together.
Right, because
I'm your brother.
Right.
So
even in saying what I want to say, I don't even know if I should say. And what I'm saying is based on what has happened to me in the past.
Yeah.
With other brothers.
Yep, I get
it's like, oh, so I'm protecting myself here. It's like, well, what is the condition? Because they weren't going to tell me the condition. It gets surprised. You get the surprise thing, like, oh yeah, man, that's $100.
I'm gonna need about $70 from that. I need about 99 when you get the chance, though. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I didn't sell you the but people do that, man. Yeah,
and it has happened, and so who you surround yourself around will also dictate the language. And if that is being dictated, like if that's coming out, if that's revealing, you reveal that for me though, is what I'm saying. You revealed me to me. And I was like,
I got you.
Oh man, I didn't even know that. Whereas I got a friend, if we betting, that's why I stopped gambling. I mean, as far as like with friends, I just don't do it because and the friend is out there. I hope he's listening. We would gamble, and I have to ask all the questions. Matter of fact, it was a weight loss competition. Trey, in the name, it's a weight loss competition.
Yes. So
whoever loses the most weight,
we're looking at scale.
Right. Whoever loses the most weight wins. So of course the people who are in it were betting on themselves, and so I'm not in it. And I was like, well, I put my money on person A. So one of the people who was in it is like, okay, well, I got the side bet with you then. And I was like, but you're not putting extra money in. Ain't you supposed to put extra money in to side bet it? Did some algebra on me. Hey, that dude did algebra, calculus, trigonometry, all that stuff. So what if person A wins? Does he get my money too? Because I'm betting on him.
Got him. Yeah.
Anyway,
he got you.
Long story short is person A wins. Now, so it's person A, B, and C. Yeah. So person C looked like they lost the most weight.
That's not the same.
Not the same. But what ended up happening was person A won, who I said would win. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so where's my part of the money? Because you're supposed to put in extra. And long story short is, he tried to say person C won. Person C was like, dude, person C at first was like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, nah, man, that ain't fair. Because person A actually. Well, you got to pull up the text. Because then, now you got to pull up the videos. So that's where I have come from. And that don't mean nothing now, though. Based on what this book is saying.
Right.
Me even talking about it is problematic.
Well, the other part of this is like, keeping in mind that I think we have to make sure this is like the ultimate level of like mindfulness as well, that you always go through a fresh reset at every encounter. It's not completely out of it, but it's like you are mindful of the moment and what the context is and the conversation is, not necessarily bringing everything over, because at any point somebody could just change. That can be good, bad, or neutral. And I think that's important for all the relationships that people are in. You could be, you've seen this before and you're like, I think this is an attribution. This is who they are. And it could just be a state when they were in the wrong conditions and in the wrong state of mind. And like, it's like a flash in the pan. It may not necessarily be something that is always with it. But the other part of this is like, we already take on so much from the past and bring it to the present that it really just starts to distort everything, and it creates a lot of chance. So within our conversation, like I was confused because I didn't know. I was like, what is the stutter step?
Right.
Like, what is the problem? Simple. And as we talked, it was like, nah, man. And I was like, oh man, they ain't got nothing. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, they ain't got nothing to do with me. So you need to stop tripping, take this camera home, and do something with it. That's it. Right. That's it. But truthfully, I would hope that people do a lot more of that. Like, take care of people without condition. If these are your people, like just take care of them. Like, hey, don't worry about it. It's especially if you do want to see them advance, you want to love them in some particular way or whatever it may be. People do that stuff to me all the time, man. Right. Jay didn't. I remember her. She was like, "Who be sending you gifts?" I was like, people just send stuff. I do it. They do it. People do it. They find my address somewhere, And I think it has been a practice. That has been a practice. And we want to make sure that we, also share this with y'all, man. Try this one day. Like, just like send out some texts, bless somebody one day and just leave. Go to Chipotle and buy everybody in the line guacamole. Just hook them up. And then you never know what could happen from there. But man, listen.
That's the advancing.
That's the advancing man. Yeah.
And the impression of increase.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, we running past time.
Oh, we did. We start talking about everything. But I tell you what, this is a great book. We do encourage you to check it out. Work your way through it. You can even start with the last chapter and then read it, then start with the first, just so you know what to expect. Take some good notes, and then there's some good sentences in the book that can be a good mantra for folks too. So something that you can put on a shirt, put it on a t-shirt, something that you can put on your wall, right on your mirror, and focus on every single day. So, hey, listen, as always, I just want you to read. We want you to grow. We want you to learn. We want you to share what you learn. This has been As a Man Readeth. This is Trey D.
And Goolsby. Read them up!
It's always so good. And see y'all on the next episode. Y'all be well and be brave.